What's your favorite poem? No.
You know, when you know 4 hours by heart, you don't have a favorite.
Yes, I agree. I hate this question. I don't know
And
why I did to you.
I do love Walt Whitman.
Okay.
He is a brother.
Yes.
And I love Emily Dickinson, who's a strange sister.
So we are online. We are on streaming, and I have to say good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new talk by Bullone on Air. I am Sofia, and I am a staff member of Il Bullone. To direct this live streaming is Davide. It goes without saying what a honor and emotion is to have an extraordinary person as Patch Adams as our guest today. Thank you, Patch, for joining us. And thank to Ginevra Sanguigno and Italo Bertolasi of Clown One Italia for putting us in touch with you. And Derek. Two words for those who don't know who are we? We are a no-profit organization dedicated to young people with serious and chronic disease such as cancer, HIV, eating disorders, and rare diseases. Every month, with our beneficiaries, volunteers, and with the help of some professional journalists, we edit our newspaper Il Bullone. Bullone translates in a bolt, which represent for us the strength and that keeps us together. And Il Bullone want to increase awareness on important themes for our society and our world, such as health, culture, economic, and sustainability, and bring inspiration example for building a better world, focus on the well-being of humans. To better manage this interview, we have collected in advance a few questions from our guys who are attending with Zoom today. In the comments here on YouTube, you could find information for supporting Patch Foundation. And to moderate the interview, our super excited Eduardo. And so Edo, the floor is us.
Thank you, Sophia, and thank you, Patch, to be here. It's an honor for me to guide this interview. And as I said before, I would like to ask you, there are hundreds of people online that probably actually know you just for the Hollywood movie. I would like to ask you like a 2-3 minutes elevator pitch, let me say, so you can present yourself and just say, which is your mission and what you have done during this last year. So barely everyone can get your opinion and not the Hollywood one on for example, on Gesundheit Institute.
Well, I was born in 1945 into a military family. I grew up in the military, 3 years in Japan, and then from 1954 to 61 in Germany. Then my father died from war. We moved back to my mother's state, which was Virginia, in 61. And I remember when my life changed forever in a public park at a public drinking fountain where the sign said, "Whites only." It broke my heart. I realized my country was fake and religion was fake, and that people could hate for color, which was as stupid a thought as I could think. And at first I had 3 mental hospitalizations. I did not want to live in a world of violence and injustice. Then at 18, I saw Martin Luther King and was in Washington to see his "I Have a Dream" speech, and I instantly changed forever. I realized, stupid, you don't kill yourself, you make a revolution of love and fun. And so I decided at 18 to never have another bad day. And so I am 57 years without a bad day. I make me. And I chose to make me 6 qualities: happy, funny, loving, cooperative, creative, and thoughtful. Everything I love about me came from my mother. I never saw her angry or unkind, and she cared for me while my father was being a soldier. And I feel that my spirit is a feminine spirit, because mostly what is male of power over and, I was not a comfortable male. Almost every problem in history was caused by men.
This is true.
In the world, and that I like the feminine spirit. I became a doctor because I wanted to help people, and I'm also, as a student, a scientist. But my life as a human being is funny. I grew up loving Jerry Lewis, the Three Stooges, the Marx Brothers, and so many others, Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. And I much more enjoyed misbehavior in public places than being a tough guy. That's me.
Yeah.
My library's 40,000 books. I have read most of them. I am a nerd. In English, we say nerd. Maybe in Italian, you say nerdo.
No, it's nerd. I mean, we use the English term. I mean, we can use the English term.
Okay, and so I love nature. An important medical thing to know about me is that I never disliked a patient enough to give a psychiatric medicine. I am a family doctor. I never gave a psychiatric diagnosis or medication in 50 years. I think, quote, mental illness comes from a loss of tribal life, which in modern words is called a circle of friends, and unconnected to nature and unconnected to the arts. Finish, ask your questions.
I mean, you have said something that really hurt me. I already read it. I mean, at 18, you decide to be happy, man. But I mean, how can you decide to be happy? You know, being happy for a day, it's quite easy for barely everyone. Instead, being happy for, the entire life, life can take you down. I mean, there are lots of obstacles. How can you get over them? I mean, can you describe like a recipe to be happy during your life, not just one?
Well, I want you to hear me. I make who I am. I decide to enjoy. I decide to be loving and funny. That it is anyone's choice. Most people do not know they have a choice. They have the emotion and the emotion gets them. I make my emotions. And one of the easy instruments is gratitude. I have held 2,000 children the week they died of starvation. I've been at 10,000 deathbeds as a clown. I have seen hell. I saw what war did to my father and to soldiers. And so I'm what in the US is called a peacenik, that I don't wait for happy, I make happy. And it's given me a great life, so I have no bad days.
I mean, you make it easy, and I really appreciate it. But actually, it's not so easy for human being like us. I mean, you men are the exception. Probably this is the topic.
Well, I actually don't agree with you. When you say it's hard to be happy, you're giving yourself permission not to make happy. Okay? That one thing I say is, if you have food and a friend, what are you bitching about?
Yeah, you have all
and so instead of, I am so grateful for food. I am so grateful for friends. And, my youngest rape is 3 years old. I have seen hell. I've taken clowns into war 5 times. And I am so happy that I'm not a warrior. If somebody came and beat me up, I would not defend myself. And so, and this is why it's really important. Maybe the most important message I have today is that one option, it's just an option, is that you can be exactly who you decide to be. Exactly. And if you are exactly who you decide to be, you will love life.
I would like to share with all the people that are online a sentence I've read on your website. I think that could be useful for barely everyone. You have said, "My life has been a dance with humanity. Friends are my passion." And I think that this can describe what you have said. That actually, from my opinion, seems easy. You know, it's true what you say. It's just an option. You have an option. You can choose barely every morning to be happy or not. But it seems like, I mean, probably it's not so easy because, you know, there are lots of people that actually cannot apply this kind of role.
Let me tell you that people who are miserable love hearing you say that. What I'm going to say in contradistinction is it is easy. You decide to be happy. You are thankful. You are thankful for your health. You are thankful for nature, for the arts, for Italo Svevo,
Yes.
for Dante. You are thankful for Walt Whitman and Dostoevsky and Balzac. You are thankful for trees and moss and flowers. And the mayfly, which is an insect, lives for 12 hours. I've had 76 years. And so how can I not be thankful?
This is true.
I had a great mother, okay? I did not really have a father. He was a soldier. And I was not a man's man. And I saw him sit in a chair when he was not away fighting wars with a drink in his hand and a cigarette in the other hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that he did not play with his two sons. And so, in a way, I'm glad because I did not have an image of a man that I wanted to be. I had an image of a woman I wanted to be, my mom.
Yes. But I mean, you have described a little bit your life, and I think that you have, you have broken lots of molds. I would like to ask you if you can share. I mean, which are the main molds that you have broken in a nation, U.S., where the medical system is completely at the opposite of what you have done.
Right. In the US, your medical bill is the number one reason you lose your home and 70% of bankruptcies. I found out very early that I feel that capitalism is the worst disease of history and the probable cause of our extinction within the next 100 years. Money is not God. What I have with Susan, you know, I'll tell you the truth. I never for 1 minute believed in God. It looked like another invention to control people. It has looked like history has been a history of men looking for ways to control people. And I like out of control. That's why I like humor and clowning, because it is out of control. And until I made the decision to live happy, I saw the world as so troubled. I was born in World War II. My father was away in the Korean War for 4 years. And I lived in the house and in the company of military people for my first 16 years. And I didn't see any thrill of hurting somebody else. If I was attacked, I would not defend myself.
Yes. I mean, you have said something that for me is quite important about your story. I mean, the fact that you have a free of charge service is probably that actually I've seen that, for example, the Oprah Winfrey interview you have done in the latest 80s, and I was kind of astonished about the fact that she didn't get a grasp about the fact that you offer a free of charge service. So I would like to ask you if it's quite so common in your nation, you know, to people that actually are astonished by the fact that you can do all what you have done just for free. I mean, just for the love to, you know, interact with people and make the life easier for them.
Right, because I want, you know, I grew up in a country where money was God. It was the religion of people, and it's not mine. Nature, the arts, and friends are my trilogy of love are for those things. It's why I love many arts. I love all of nature. And one of the things I've done is answer all my mail. So I've written more than 500,000 personal longhand letters. I'm caught up. Yesterday, I answered 10 letters from 4 countries.
Because actually, we can say to all the people that are online that you're not familiar with the PC. So probably.
Yes, I made a decision long ago to never learn a computer or a smartphone. It's impersonal. You know, I have been to a restaurant and seen 2 people dating each other, and they're both on their smartphone. If I was dating somebody and they were on their smartphone, I'd get up and leave them.
Yeah.
It's impersonal. And I appreciate what it does for people, but I'm never going to do it.
And how can, I mean, this kind of behavior, generally speaking, Patch is someone that actually it's difficult to be found, you know, because probably everyone would like to be as you, but it's not so easy. So I would like to ask you how Patch can make the difference, you know, among the people. I mean, which is the best difference that you can see when you interact with people, and especially when you interact with people that actually are suffering, you know.
Well, this is why I'm a clown. You know, happy, funny, loving. Very few people have a defense mechanism to protect themselves from happy, funny, loving. And that, you know, for 35 years, I've only lived in clown clothes. And when I clown, I look so funny and act funny. And so very few people have a protective mechanism to prevent themselves from laughing.
You can unlock them. Let me say, you can unlock their defense system.
Yes, and I often don't care what I have to do. I love to go on clown trips. I've taken over 300 groups of people. Before COVID, we did 7 regular ones: Russia, Morocco, Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and the Amazon of Peru. 5 times into war. I love cheering people up. I think it's what a doctor's job is. It isn't taught, but I decided to make me the doctor I wanted to be.
Can I say that probably you are able to be happy barely in every minute in your life, because probably you have seen so bad stuff in this war. Probably this is the unlocked mechanism that make possible that you could choose to be happy, because actually, you know, when you see war, when you see people that are suffering, child that are suffering, probably you understand that, you know, easy stuff and easy problem and issue that we have every day are just stupid compared to what the world, you know, what the war is. I mean, the reality.
Well, I think that's why most of the people who have come on my clown trips never had a class on clowning. They get strange clothes and strange hats and strange wigs and funny toys, and they notice that the first day they know how to do it. And it's very interesting. Twice we have taken suicidal soldiers. In the United States now, 6,000 military vets kill themselves a year because war is wrong and it's hell to see it and be with it. And so I went to veteran organizations and said, I want 10 of your most suicidal vets. And so we paid for them to come on a clown trip, 1 week in Guatemala, 10 of us clowns and 10 of them. And 1 week of clowning stopped their suffering. 1 week of loving stopped their suffering. And so 2 years later, we did it again. And this time I went to vet organizations and said, please, I want your most suffering, your most suicidal. And 1 week in Guatemala stopped their suffering.
Yeah, it seems easy. I mean, you make all the stuff easy. Probably is not. In fact, I would like to ask you another stuff that really hurts me. As I already told you, I've met. I mean, the room next mine, the San Raffaele Hospital, was the room of childs who were blood diseases, and I've listed them crying except for when the clowns came in. So I would like to ask you how you can interact with those people, and actually how can you interact with childs that are suffering? I mean, how can you describe the pain to a child that actually has 4 or 5 years old?
Well, actually, when I'm in a hospital and I see children suffer, my job is to see what I need to do to make it fun for my visit, to be playful. And so I don't go in and say, tell me about your suffering. I go in and am a silly fool. And they have no protection against a silly fool. So it's very easy for me to get them laughing because I have whoopee cushions, and farting is the #1 funny thing in the world. Everyone laughs at farting.
Can you show us just one in order to make all the people understanding what you say?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not in my room. I'm in Derek's room.
Okay,
so
okay.
I don't know if he has a fart. I have
as you done before. Could be easy.
We call them whoopee cushions. They're flat rubber things with a flap on the end. All of you know what they are. You blow them up, you sit on it, and it goes.
Yeah.
This was the traditional one about this size. But over the last couple of years, they've made a little one that I call the Grandmother Toot.
Because why grandmother? Oh, me. Okay, you got it.
Because grandmothers, thank you.
We got it, boy.
Okay, so the Grandmother Toot is a joke that grandmothers traditionally don't fart. But if you do the little Grandmother Toot, everybody knows that their grandmother does that kind of fart. And then they've also made a big one, which is like an elephant fart. And of course, that's beautiful.
But it's difficult to be hide. I mean,
this is for all of you, from me to you.
With love, you know.
And when you say difficult to hide, look, you fold it up, you put it in your pocket.
And you are a normal person.
And in my clown costume, in my pants, I have pockets this big, they're huge pockets, and you can tuck it in your pants, you can wear it on your head.
Yes.
So
you can barely hide lots of objects.
And everybody knows what they are.
Yeah.
And they usually can't wait for you to do it. So that's why I do it.
I would like to get the floor to Silvia, because actually Silvia has a question as a question related to her personal experience, because actually I mean, I think I would like to get the floor to Silvia. Silvia, you can do the question if you want. So probably it could be better to interact with Patch.
Yes, okay. Hi, Patch. I'm Silvia. Let me introduce my question. So, in the past few years, I have often been hospitalized for self-harm episodes. Here in Italy, only the staff can enter in the ward during the day, and relatives are allowed to visit the patients only 2 hours a day. In this way, it is very difficult to think at something different from problems you have. And so the question, what do you think about that? Is your opinion that smile and laugh can be a strong help for psychiatric patients?
Well, traditionally I would go, duh. It's, to tell you the truth, it's very easy to get, quote, psychiatric patients to laugh, different than paralyzed or people in horrible pain, because their suffering is actually in their imagination. And so I love to, often when I go to a hospital, I ask the nurses, take me to who is suffering the most. And so often they take me to somebody who is psychiatrically suffering. And what's very clear to me is they are making their suffering. No one can make another person psychiatrically suffer. They have to welcome it and then nurture it and take care of it so that they suffer depression or anxiety. And the number one illness in the United States is depression. That people feel depressed for so many reasons. And as a clown, it's really easy to cut through it. Because one interesting thing about people who are depressed or mentally ill is that they are allowed with a clown to have a few moments rest. So they might enjoy you. And then when you leave the room, they go, oh yeah.
So you have to stay with them just 24 hours a day in order to get them,
A bit difficult.
And sometimes I will tell you that I do. If I go in a room and I can see that this person is, oh my God, I'm suffering so badly, and I get them laughing, if I go out, I might come back in 5 minutes and let them know that their stopping laughing is a problem with me.
Yeah.
As a joke. And so, and if you go to a mental hospital, it's first off a really fun introduction to how strange people can make themselves. Because there are so many expressions of, quote, mental illness. So for some people, they're cutting themselves all the time. For other people are yelling out bad words, fuck you, fuck you. Other people are just sitting there like this. And I might put my head in their lap and look up at them and pick my nose and offer, a dessert. So the nice thing about clowning is you can change your presentation of clown instantly of many varieties, and you can see which one touches them in some way. You can see it in their eyes. Sometimes eyes sparkle before the face sparkles. And so I actually find that kind of patient is usually really easy. What's interesting in a mental hospital is often you'll go into a room where there are 15 patients and none of them are being friendly to each other. They're all having their individual thing.
Yeah.
And I I, as a clown, might try to be like a sergeant in the military and say, okay, everybody, line up. And since people are curious what clowns are doing, they'll line up. And then I might say, okay, squat and fart. Do you know what a squat is? What is a squat?
Yeah, you know, the gymnastic position, you know, when you have to improve your leg muscles.
Do you have something? Okay. So as a clown, I have to say everything is easy. I in a prison, I can go to somebody who will be executed tomorrow and have a great time.
So Silvia, probably you have to talk with your doctors and actually said to them that a man like Patch could be the good solution, you know, in order to have fun. In fact, Patch, I would like to ask you, I mean, how you can. I've seen that you have had an amputation, and I was so astonished about how you can. Oh, yeah, man, so good. It's you have to make. I mean, man, you have to make like a smile on it. You know, 2 eyes, just nose on the and a mouth. So it's
well. Let me tell you, I've asked my costumer to make a Long John Silver costume. If you know the book Treasure Island or the movie, Long John Silver wore a wooden leg. However, I've asked my costumer that when I see someone especially suffering, I can go sit down, take off my prosthesis, and she has made me a lovely cat to put on my stump.
You have to add all the fur, you know.
And the other thing that I love is that I've asked her to make an ass so that I can moon people with my stump. 2 cheeks and the fart, of course. And so I've never had any, you know, I get these letters going, oh, I saw you were amputated. I'm so sorry. There is no sorry for Stumpy. I had 3 operations for MRSA, and the amputation was a gift so that when I get the prosthesis, I can dance because I'm a hell of a rock and roller. Okay? I can do a lot of moves with rock and roll, and I need to be able to wear my clown shoes, and with the left foot, it was diseased. So get rid of the damn thing. Give me Stumpy.
Yeah, I mean, man, but you can make easy. I know there are lots of, I mean, some guys in Bullone have an amputation also, and they have felt barely the same sensation that you're describing. But I would like to ask you, because you know probably there are tens of guys from il Bullone. Yeah, just kiss it. Yeah. Tens of guys of Bullone that will face, you know, medical treatment, chemotherapies during the next days, and I would like to ask you if you can, let me say, give them a recipe in order to get over this kind of hardships that they will face. Because I mean, man, you make all the stuff that you describe, you make them easy, but probably it's not so easy. So it's like I would like to ask you if you can just get them an advice so they can get over it.
I want you to hear me, Eduardo, that it is easy. When you look at your life, you decide when you wake up, I'm going to love today. It's a statement, but it may be a commitment. It may be a promise. You may be remembering your mom. You can be grateful. If you are living in an apartment or a house and not on the street, be grateful. You know, you can be grateful for food, you grateful for friends, grateful for Dante. Who of you is grateful for Dante?
Me, but not enough, I mean.
But notice not everybody is grateful for Dante. Who's grateful for Italo Svevo?
also.
Oh, I love Italo Svevo. And so I can be in the United States and be with people that don't know a single poet. They don't know anything about art. In fact, they think art is only paintings, not sculpture, not the way a car looks or the clothes you wear. It is amazing how unconnected people are to the arts and to nature. I've been astounded how few patients actually have a place to go to in nature that they know when they go there, it gives them peace.
Yeah, I mean, I perfectly agree with this. I mean, I love nature, and I try to spend most of my time inside nature. But probably the fact that you say, I mean, that some people are not able, you know, to understand how lucky they are. It's quite common, I mean, in our society. And there is a doctor online right now that I mean, about your experience, would like to ask you. I mean, just not ask you, just to present you the fact that the doctor says that during his years of activity, all the people, I mean, their teacher told to him that if you cure a disease, you win or lose. Instead, if you cure a person, in this case, you will win whatever outcome the therapy has, and it is probably something that you know barely perfect, because I mean, all your mission and all your vision is based on the person and not the cure. I mean, the patient and not the cure. So enjoy the patient and not try to, you know, focus on just the disease and just the cure.
And with humor, you can enjoy almost everyone. You just have to find what they find funny. My longest hug as a doctor was 12 hours.
Man.
And so much of, you know, the word improvisation. So much of humor comes through an active improvisation. And so in the first 5 minutes with a patient, you can try many things, and then that can educate you in which direction to go.
Yeah.
And so, and finding the map to their soul, the map to their sense of humor is a fun thing to do. I mean, here's something you can offer anywhere you go, and some people will love it.
Everyone can appreciate it.
La, la, la. Let's all do it. Everybody. 1, 2, 3. La, 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 la. Notice how hard it is for you to put your fingers in your mouth.
It's true. I mean, you are describing a system that it's like perfect. I mean, I can understand that in US, this kind of system can create skepticism because, you know, you are the exception, as already told you. I would like to ask you if probably the difficult, I mean, the fact that it was not so easy to find funds was due to the fact that your business model, let me say the free of charge one, is completely at the opposite of the system. I mean, probably being a free of charge system, it's something that really hurts investors and people that are able to help you, despite the fact that your system is quite perfect. I mean, nobody can say that it's not the good system.
We are a medical system that eliminates 90% of the cost of care. Who can believe this? But our system, we're building our hospital in the poorest state in the United States, West Virginia. We have 320 acres, which is a half a square mile. We have 3 waterfalls. a 4-acre lake, 5 springs, a mountain of hardwood trees with bear and deer and otter and beaver. And we're building a 40-bed rural primary care hospital where all 120 staff will live there as a communal eco-village. And everyone from the cleaning staff to the surgeon will make the same salary, $400 a month. And they will feel that they are rich. And the hospital will be an art gallery, a theater for plays, and a theater for films. I've collected 4 libraries for the hospital. And so it's paradise. You will come to paradise and be cared for.
Yes, and probably the cure that you have, I mean, the attention that you have, the medical staff, is something that it's current than ever. And it's current than ever also here in Italy, because, you know, probably as the US, we have lots of that among the medical staff due to COVID-19. And this, the shift, let me say, I mean, not the shift, but the fact that you have to pay attention on the patient, but also the medical staff is something that probably, and I would like to ask you this, is something that probably, I mean, was it common, I mean, before you have done what you have done? I mean, in US, which is the situation, because actually I know that here in Italy, there is, I mean, doctors are not so, let me say, for example, in San Raffaele of Milano, I've met lots of doctors that are human beings and after are doctors, you know. I would like to know if in the US, I mean, which is the situation in the US, if there are, you know, doctors that are able to make fun of them.
Well, there are many doctors and nurses who say they would love to work with us. You know, our first 12 years, we were 20 adults living in a 6-bedroom house. 3 of us were doctors. We had 500 to 1,000 people in our home each month, with 5 to 50 overnight guests a night. It was unbelievable. And we broke the law. At that time, homeopathy was against the law, and chiropractic and Ayurvedic and anthroposophic and faith healing, these were considered fake medicines. And I loved it. I was fascinated by the very strange medical practice that we had. I mean, imagine 6 bedrooms, 20 adults and their children living there, and 5 to 50 overnight guests in a night. It was wild and crazy. My closest classmate was murdered by one of our patients. We saw all kinds of people. I loved it and have worked 50 years to try to recreate it.
Probably your answer to the skepticism of your system is, I mean, showing and actually talking with people that have interacted with you and have used, let me say, your system. Probably this is the most, you know, strong answer to all the people that don't believe in your system, because, you know, people are actually, you know, I mean, the truth of all this story.
Well, you know, in 50 years and 500,000 letters from 139 countries, I have a chance to see a lot of people's point of view. And we don't say that anyone should copy what we're doing. They can take anything that we are doing and add it to what they do. So maybe the one thing they would like to adopt is not to give antidepressants. Maybe one thing they would like to adopt is to do homeopathy and acupuncture. So what we're really saying is we're doing exactly the kind of medicine we want to do. What is the kind of medicine you want to do? And to do that, I recommend heavily that you not make your medical life strictly business, because you will miss a lot of the joy of the practice of medicine. Because it's really fun to be close to people and to do strange things. I could say I'm addicted to it, which is why I've done it for 50 years and have never lost heart over trying to build something that I thought for sure would take 15 years or 5 years. And now 50 years later, it's still not finished. We have built 3 beautiful buildings and have the shell of our first big building. And I know that you're allowing me to ask all of people listening and watching in to make donations to us, whether it's $1 or $50 or $1,000. You can go to our website, patchadams.org, and donate that way, or you can write a check and send it to me by mail at 122 Franklin Street, Urbana, Illinois, 61801, and invest in a crazy person.
Yeah, Patch. I would like. Actually, we have placed the link of your website and where the people can donate in the YouTube video. But I would like, to make a little bit translation for Italian people, just because I think that is an important point. Patch sta dicendo che ovviamente sarebbe carino che la cosa che interessa ovviamente molto lui è il fatto che se state credendo in quello che lui sta dicendo e credete nella sua missione, possiate comunque andare sul suo sito web, che è patchadams.org, e fare una dotazione. Patch, have you got it?
I understood everything.
Perfect, man. What I really appreciate about you, is the resilience that you have. The resistance among the time, it's something literally unique, because actually it's not easy to pursue your dream barely daily.
But listen to me, I have held 2,000 children in my arms the week they died of starvation. How powerful a force is that to keep doing what you're doing? And all of the every day in the letters I get, and I can get a 15-page letter of the suffering of a person, and I feel so honored that they write me, and that many times I hear that whatever I write back changes their point of view. And so I'm just here to do more until I go plop.
I'm sure that your resilience and the fact that you are so let me say, so skilled in this kind of activities, and actually in the fact that you're able to be literally happy daily, is, as I already told you, is
and Susan loves me.
Okay. Words are so important.
Let's
Women are so important.
Love her.
Yeah, this is true. But I think that actually is also due to the fact that we have seen lots of bad stuff. And when you see lots of them, you cannot be angry, you cannot be sad, because you haven't quite well understood how the world is going on. So you probably deserve yourself to be happy. So this is probably the strong reality of your life, and I actually really appreciate it. I would like, if it's okay for you, I would like to share the last question with Elisa, that is a girl of il Bullone, a chica of il Bullone, and I would like to ask you something. So Elisa, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, Patch. Thank you for your words. And I would like to ask you, the world needs a revolution, and you're a pioneer of that. But where can we start our revolution?
You know, that's a huge question.
You have yeah.
You start with making yourself, you know, when I made myself happy all the time, that was a big revolution. And then you think, if you're partnered, then making your partnership a great romance and a healthy, vibrant thing is another revolution. If you have children, instead of hitting them and yelling at them, you love them and become their friends, that's a third revolution. Okay, so that's 3 revolutions in your house. You can then study the world and its environment and care for the environment. Because I believe that climate change today is making me say in 100 years we will be extinct. So getting involved in the environment in a way that's fun for you, in a way that not only are you enjoying it, but it's seductive to attract other people to enjoy it and understand. Let me tell you a great book to read if you read English. Braiding, Braiding, Sweetgrass, Sweetgrass, by Robin Kimmerer, Kimmerer. I read the whole book to my beloved Susan, and now she's reading it again to herself. And it is so enchanting, a romance with plant nature. And to know that your plant nature is right outside your door, wherever you are, in a desert or in a redwood forest. So having a romance with nature is really important. Having a romance with the arts, I hope you've heard in our discussion, is really important. To know your poets and your novelists and your theater and your visual arts. And because the arts are so many parts of our lives. And falling in love with nature, and to carry all of these tools with you. And then you can add your own tools. I told you earlier that I've never been a believer in God, but for a huge number of people, God is a great instrument. And so to be involved, to feel at the end of the day of what a great day I have had in doing this, which are the things that I find important.
And probably, I mean, you can agree with me that hugging trees could be something that really, relax yourself. I mean, trees have lots of stuff to say.
And climb them and sit on a limb and stay there and invite others to join you. But of course, let me say, the second book that I'm reading of Robin's is about moss. Do you know what moss is in Italian?
No, actually, I didn't get it. Moss.
M-O-S-S. Somebody know that word in Italian?
Just, I mean, okay, got it, yeah. We say muschio.
Muschio. They're tiny little plants that most US citizens know nothing about. And her first book was about moss. So the thing is, yes, sitting in tree is a great. You could go to a park, and if you find moss, put your face in it until people come up and ask you what you're doing. And you can learn all of the birds of Italy. And sit there on a bench and point them out to people and learn their songs. I mean, the beautiful world is so big, you will not live long enough to know even a fraction of it.
Yeah, to discovery.
And so if this is the case, then every day you can live ecstatically that you are a member of this giant population. And you can think that if you liked hugging a tree, that in the US there are redwood trees that you need other people, otherwise you can't put your arms around it to hug it.
And how, I mean, Patch, how can you, I mean, find people crazy like you in order to, you know, to hug the trees? I mean, we are, as you can see, we are, I mean, Bullone, we are 70, 80, probably hundreds of people. So how can you find, I mean, which is your recipe to find people that can share with you your mission?
Well, I'll bet you at least one person will write me and say they want to join up. You know, how does a man or a woman make themselves attractive so that someone will like them? You know, each of you chose your hairdo, your facial hair. Each of you chose what shirt. Look what shirt I'm put on. Clown noses and fake teeth. And, you know, if you saw my t-shirt, it's even crazier. Here's a big fish on it.
Yeah.
And so you think, what's my club? What's my church? What's my group of friends? And there's a good chance all of you have at least one friend that's like you, and that you have things you love to do together, like bowling, you know, or whatever it is, you like doing it together. To have a nice bottle of red wine out on the lawn with a blanket and some special things to eat.
Italian wine, obviously, Brunello del Montalcino.
Absolutely, yes. And so no matter who you are, there are thousands, maybe millions of people that would like to be your friend.
This is true.
And so we could go here and say, what's one thing you know about yourself? And I can ask you, Eduardo, one thing you know about yourself that you know attracts others to you.
Probably I can actually, I like to stay with people, interact with them, you know, share my stories. And, you know, I'm a kind of open-minded person. So I like to talk, interact with people. And the more I don't know the person, the better, I mean, I like to interact with him. Probably this could be, you know, my recipe.
And who on the screen came forward and put on something because they know they looked attractive in it? Yeah. I know it's hard. Aha, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are like, you know, tens of us, but probably, I mean, if we are together right now, I mean, if the Bullone exists, it's probably because we have found, you know, something so good in other people. And this is why we have created the Bullone, because probably we have a vision we would like to share. And so we have created this beautiful team.
Okay, wonderful. And maybe someone would tell us what's the strangest thing about them.
The strangest, so I can I choose? I mean, can I choose, like, you know, a person? I will choose. Yeah, I would like to choose people that actually are doing like this in the camera. So there are lots of people that are doing, not me. I mean, please, not me. But I will choose. Okay, I go easy. I go with Sophia. That is like, you know, No, not me, not me. Sofia, you have to say something weird about yourself. I mean, something strange. Devi dire qualcosa di strano, qualcosa di tuo strano. Sappiamo
Strano.
strano means weird, you know. You have to know that Sofia have lots of things strange.
So you like to be a dog.
To speak as a dog.
Yeah. You
Next.
know,
Okay, you got off easy.
so I mean, Patch, could be. I mean, it's been an honor for me to do this interview. The time, I mean, is finished. I would like to say thank you for your time. I know that you have a busy agenda, and you know, being with us for 1 hour is something that we really appreciate.
Sorry.
This is this is your treasure, you know. It's like your the object you like it the most. So thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, right.
Can one last gift from me, and that is, let me teach you how to put your finger in your nose.
Okay. There is like
Uno, dos, tres. Inside, bury the
got it.
nail. Yeah, inside and happy.
You know, you can do like a WikiHow page on how you put your finger in your nose. So you know.
Notice you can't see my fingernail.
Okay,
That's-
so actually you place this part of the finger. I mean, man, but you are skilled. I mean, we are rookie in this kind of activity. So we have to, you know, we have to test a little bit by ourselves.
And sometimes if you're with somebody clowning and nothing is working, this works.
It's probably because, I mean, but I'm a little bit skilled because, you know, I can do this. So
Yeah.
I'm double skilled compared to you. So I can actually, I mean, do what you have done. I mean, I hope so. So literally, thank you, Patch. Has been an honor.
One last thing.
Yeah.
If you come on a clown trip with me, and after COVID, we will start our clown trips again.
Yes.
Okay. Please come. We always get a group mooning photo.
Mooning photo. What does it mean? Can you explain it?
Yes, you drop your pants and show your butt.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So,
I have
and
a good ass, man. So probably could be difficult for barely everyone, you know. Just lots of people will appreciate it, but just, you know, just to say it.
we do it on the last day. And
Okay.
usually you've had so much fun and been so wild and done things you can't believe you're doing. You go, okay, I'll show my butt.
Okay, in order to say hi, you know, in order to say goodbye. So this is my goodbye from the bottom of my heart.
Okay. And you know, bottom is the number word for a butt.
Okay, but no one will know it.
Vai Edo, togliti i pantaloni.
No, I mean, just because, you know, it's too beautiful.
Fermiamo Edo che cerca veramente di spiegare a Patch che anche lui potrebbe avere ragione, che anche ci sarebbe un modo in cui lui potrebbe farlo, ma noi ti vogliamo vedere a fare la foto l'ultimo giorno con Patch al tour, Edoardo.
Yeah, Martina is explaining, I mean, what we are discussing. So I would like to say goodbye. Thank you for what you have done, and thank you for this time with us. I would like to give the word to Sofia. Yeah, yes, you can talk. I mean,
one last thing, I'm sorry.
No, Patch, we have all the time.
If dropping your pants to show your butt is difficult, just turn around and bend over.
No. You think that I'm not able to do it, but you know, you don't know me very well, so I can do it, and I can.
Oh.
Can you see it?
We saw your polka dotted underwear.
And I can show another boot. Just a moment.
Boot? That's a butt.
The butt.
Oh,
Another
yeah,
one.
nice.
This is probably better than mine.
And notice there was no embarrassment on the dog's part.
Yeah, it's quite happy. I mean, are you
Yeah.
happy?
Yes, I'm happy. Thank you, Patch, for what you have done.
Okay, and one more plug. Please help me build our hospital.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure, man.
Even a small donation is a big help.
Yeah, we will
Thank
do it,
you.
man.
Thank you.
So
Have a great day
it's your
and-
turn.
and be naughty.
Yes.
In Italian, Sophia, what is naughty?
Nudi?
What?
Cattivi.
Fate
I cattivi, non fate i bravi, fate i cattivi.
I thought
So-
you mean
so-
naked. Be naked.
Be cattivi?
Sì,
that right?
cattivi, cattivi.
Gastivi. Okay.
Cattivi.
Gastivi to all of you.
Castivi.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Ciao Patch. Saluta Susan. Say hello to Susan. Thank
blow it
you.
up.
And Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so
man.
much.
Great.
Thank you,
Voglio
Patch.
bene.
Ti vogliamo
Anche no-
bene anche noi.
We love you, Betcha. Me too.
Love
Thank
you.
you, Derek. And thank you, Derek.
Bravo,
Thank you,
Derek.
Derek.
Thank you.
Well done, Derek. Bravo.
He is the brains of the operation.
Yes, we know that.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
The teamwork, you know.
Thank you, Derek, for everything,
Yeah.
for the help.
Thank you, Derek.
Good,
And thank
goodbye,
you.
Stumpy.
Bye, Stumpy. Thank you for having been with us.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
Stumpy.
Yes, so thank you. Thank you, Edo. Ok. Ti sei divertito, Edo? Parliamo
Possiamo
italiano
switchare
adesso.
in italiano.
Siamo ancora in diretta, ragazzi. No,
Sì.
grazie Edo e grazie a tutti quelli che ci hanno seguito. Spero vi sia
Grazie, Edoardo.
E vi raccomando, donate alla fondazione di Patch. Su YouTube nei commenti trovate il link per donare direttamente alla sua fondazione e continuate a seguirci per nuove interviste. Grazie a tutti.
Ciao, Sophie, grazie.
Ciao a
Ciao. Grazie.
Ciao,
Grazie, ciao ragazzi.
grazie, ciao ciao.
Grazie mille.